EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present opening round coverage of the Open Championship. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Always a treat to be in Scotland, Frank, and at one of the oldest golf clubs in the world, Royal Troon.
It's getting close to 150 years old. It was first established all the way back in 1878. Actually, the original golf course only had 5 holes on it. But over the Open Championship roster, this has probably been the most successful, or provided the most success to American players. The last 6 Open Championship winners were all American.
Has one of the most famous holes in all of major championship golf, the 123-yard par 3 8th. It's known as the postage stamp, and one of the legends had a really nice moment there many years ago.
The late Gene Sarazen, the Squire, yeah, he had a little ace there, all televised too, and it was a great way to remember his phenomenon.
Well, this is always one of the toughest moments in any round. You've made a mistake, you hit it OB, you're disappointed, but you have to regroup, you have to focus, and try to get this next one in play. Third shot now after having gone OB. Chance to get it close here. He'll take that one all day long. Very solid, about 15 feet away. This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Oh, now that is going to hurt.
Just a couple of feet. +1 in the early going. Frank, as we step to the tee here at the par 4 second hole, just 391 yards, but a classic case on links golf where the bunkering here is just so much different than a classic American layout.
And it's also where a change of strategy will certainly help. Remember, the ball's going to run much further here in Scotland than what it will in America. So you can use a shorter club and let that ball to run out to the normal distance you would hit it, perhaps with 2 or 3 clubs more. That's beyond long.
That is a sensational play right there, and you have to think that the little helping breeze gave that a nice boost.
He can't be that good.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone. And it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Solid play, heart of the green. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Frank, looking at the third, what are the sort of key decisions that you have to make?
There's two bunkers down the left. They're not really the issue. They're the burn. That's about 285 yards. This is not a hole, really. You just take the driver out and swing away. Just something that stays up short of that. It's just going to leave you a short iron in.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
This has really been a challenge all day long with these winds coming from different directions, changing speeds. It's gone from 15 upwards to 25 miles per hour. Really a test for the players. Frank, the Open Championship will be played at Royal Troon in 2016. It was first played back in 1923. What was first prize then?
A mere 75 pounds, so that equates to about 150 US dollars. And just to give you an idea, the last time they played there, Rich, was back in 2004 when Todd Hamilton beat Ernie Els. He got a whopping 720,000 pounds. That's right, nearly $1.5 million.
The money's nice, but every player would tell you, Frank, it is still all about that claret jug.
It is, and that's actually suited the Americans because since 1962, they've been to Troon 6 times, and 6 times the victor has been American.
To 1 over par early on in this round. Now back over to the 4th. It has not gone all that well early in the round for our featured golfer. What do they need to do, Frank, to turn this thing around?
Well, you can't dwell on what's just happened. There's plenty of holes ahead. Look at the scorecard, par 5s to play, things like that. Really pick apart this golf course. There's going to be plenty of opportunities around the corner. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully. Second shot.
Frank, this is good golfing weather. Nice, strong breeze. Well, that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. And setting up here in the rough. good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
You get the sense now with that birdie that our young star, so explosive, is setting himself up for a big weekend run. Now to the par 3 fifth. Frank, what are you trying to do here?
Really, anything on this green is going to give you a birdie putt. So allow for the bounce and roll. Just avoid those 3 bunkers on the left and that short one right.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it.
Even par currently.
Still playing even for the day after the par. All right, Frank, how about the 6th hole, long par 5?
Yeah, 3 bunkers off the tee. Avoid those. But if you hit a good one, certainly reachable.
Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole. Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Settles in over the putt.
Oh, that'll put the smile back on the face.
Moving inland now, Frank, the par 4 7th hole. Do you even think about carrying those bunkers on the right?
Not really, Rich. You're trying to work that ball off the left side, because if you get caught up on the hills there on the right, then all of a sudden you can start making 5s, 6s, and all sorts of weird and wonderful numbers.
Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But if down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. Yeah, that's a good putt right there. From that distance, he'll settle. A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. Good stroke right there. That's a par and stays at 1 under. And what happened here in 1973?
The old squire, Gene Sarazen himself, made an ace.
He was 71 years old playing his final Open. Frank, when you look at great rivalries in sports, you realize that athletes need each other. Joe Frazier needed Muhammad Ali to achieve greatness, to achieve legendary status. And in golf, Tom Watson needed Jack Nicklaus to push him to another level.
And also to define an era. Without one, we couldn't think of the 80s or the 90s or the 2000s or the 2010s. You need those players to define that era. So you need competition. Competition is not without rivalry.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know, it might just go in.
And great execution. Right out of the bunker and right next to the hole. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Call in the medics, Frank. Can't stop the bleeding here.
Just racking the bogeys up.
Frank, the ninth hole, 423 yards, not especially long by today's standards. You looking to make birdie here, or you happy to make a par and move on to the back nine?
Well, there's certainly a chance for birdie. One of the hardest things about the ninth is the raised green. And it's sort of, there's two tiers here, just the top level. If that pin is on the top level, then you would certainly walk away with 4 very happily.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. In the hole, and that'll bring the score to 1 under. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back nine, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. 310 yards and straight. You can win with that. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one.
There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Back-to-back birdies, we'll see. Now at -2 for the day. Frank, if you needed a reminder as to just how difficult this 11th hole is, none other than Jack Nicklaus had his problems here.
Yeah, he turned pro in 1962. He just won the U.S. Open at Oakmont, and then he came to Troon, and on the 11th hole, he made a 10. That's right, double digits.
Excellent drive right there, Frank.
Circa 310.
To where the hole is cut, just about 190 yards, Frank. Cody Tribe up next. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Holding steady now at 2 under par. Frank, how do you size up the 12th hole here at Royal Troon?
Well, first look at 430 yards, you'd think it'd be a rather easy par 4. But that's not really the issue. The issue is gorse right and left. Yeah, that's fine.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Just a little tap in here. You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy. Featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line.
Nice.
Looks good.
Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Second from an excellent lie. What a turn of events. Just turned this round upside down. Started off slow, but then managed to pick up the pace and back on track now.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Been this way all day. Airtight, no mistakes, solid shot.
And yet another green in regulation.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Keeps the momentum going with that putt. Stays at 3 under. Heading for home now, Frank, the par 3 14, just under 180 yards. What's the key here?
Well, it's rather narrow at the front there. There's 3 bunkers, but it's the second 2 that you really worry about that narrow the front of this green up. Plus, the front is slightly raised, so ideally you want it to fly it more towards the middle where it starts to widen up.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea. This looks like it's going to find the target.
So a longer putt coming up next, about 30 feet away. This for par. Well, you just can't make up ground if you don't make putts. Drop shot here at the 14th hole. In for a bogey. Frank, now at the 15th, and how hard is this par 4?
The key really is to get the ball on the fairway here. Avoid those 3 bunkers, because this is one of the flattest greens on the golf course. Get the ball on the green here. Any putt's makeable. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Third shot, looking for a good one. Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much. That just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop.
Well, that's what the great ones do. From the rough, they use their skill and their strength to get it out and get it close. Not a gimme, but well within his range. That's 1 under on the day. Now the lone par 5 on the back 9, the 16th, and while you might be thinking birdie here, you may want to think again. What are the options off the tee, Frank?
Well, really, there's only one option, and that's keep it short of that burn, which is 280 yards. So that makes that 540 yards play that much longer.
That's a bit offline in the rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
This ball never even looked like it was going down the fairway, hitting way right.
In the thick stuff.
Thick, it's brutal out there.
Frank, you always talk about it not compounding the error, but here again, another shot from the rough. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That is a beauty, a real beauty. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
A few more birdies like that, Rich, you never know, just might sneak place on the podium.
In the top 10 right now. Frank, now to the hole they call Rabbit, 222-yard par 3.
I don't know why it's called Rabbit, because this is certainly some tough par 3. Green sits up a little bit. There's a big roll-off on the left side, well bunkered. This takes a brilliant long iron shot just to keep it on the green.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Will make birdie if this drops. And with that, he'll go to 3 under. Great finishing hole here, Frank, at Royal Troon, the 18th.
Really, it's all about the tee shot. If you find one of those pot bunkers, then the best you can do is lay up, and then you're looking instantly at least a 5.
Beautiful looking shot right here. Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. 18-footer. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course.
Well, there you go. 68 for the day. There you have it, Frank. First round is complete. What are your thoughts, partner?
Rich, I think anyone inside the current top 10 of that leaderboard is certainly well placed to go on and take this championship.
EA Sports and the R&A are proud to present second round coverage of the Open Championship. And let's go down to the first. Stepping up to the first tee and off a surprisingly good first round. Let's see if our featured player can conjure up some of that magic here in round two. Nice drive, right in the fairway, and a good swing on that one. Second shot, good look at the green. On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Great start.
And ready to tee off here at the par 4, 391 yards second.
Yeah, it's not overly long. The biggest priority for the players is just avoiding the bunkers. All 11 of them, whether it be with your tee shot or the second hole. But at that modest length, it is very much a birdie hole.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a master class in short game.
Shouldn't be a problem here. keep the round going, those par putts. Back to the tee box here on hole number 3, and there are a few club selection decisions that come into play on this first shot, Frank.
There is. The reason why, there's a burn that cuts through from the 16th hole all the way across the golf course through the middle of the third. And that stops, or should I say starts, at about 285 yards. That really has to be at the forefront of your mind.
So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got away a little bit on that tee ball. Second shot coming out of the rough here. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Frank, that's just a really good putt right there.
Yeah, that's why you call lag putting. You get outside a certain distance, and really your mind has to be about two putting and not trying to be a hero.
Doing what needs to be done. You need to make them from that distance. Rich Lerner back at historic Royal Troon with Frank Novola, who's played the Open Championship on 2 occasions here at a golf course that goes back to the late 1800s. This is the first par 5, Frank, on the golf course, and you would think a chance to make a birdie and get that round started.
It certainly is. Dogleg right, 2 bunkers on the left. If you hit the ball a little bit straight, you'll certainly get into those pot bunkers. The one on the right, most people can carry. You carry that, this par 5, more than reachable.
Not quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot in the bunker. Frank, the good players certainly aren't panicked when they're in a fairway bunker, are they?
Just make sure your feet stay nice and firm in the sand there. There's a tendency to move your feet around a little bit.
Out of the sand and back on the fairway.
Yeah, good shot. Just really utilized that little bit between the ears. Realized he couldn't reach the green and instead opted for fairway.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Settles in over the putt. Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. Just a couple of feet. Good effort and good par putt. On to the fifth hole now, Frank, and this is really where the old course starts to test the golfers. It's just over 200 yards. You happy with a par 3 here?
You are. This is one of the toughest shots, certainly on the outward 9. There's 4 bunkers of this par 3. You don't really worry about the one that's short left, but the one just on the front right of the green is the biggest concern. You've either got to go around it or carry it.
That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. And he's made the green. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Well, not going to make par here. He needs this to only give up 1.
Comfortably knocks it in.
Now to the 601-yard behemoth par 5 6th hole. You can pay the steep price here, Frank, for a mistake.
You can. You can't reach this green with your tee shot, so there's no reason to even try. A good drive, if it bounds down the right side and will eventually go left, would perhaps give you a chance to reach this par 5 and 2. But this is one tee shot to concentrate on.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
Chance to get it close here. Pretty good shot right there, about 10 feet away, setting up the putt for birdie. Locked in on the read and the speed. Oh yeah, birdie, Frank, and another shot closer.
Sniffing in the right direction.
Moving inland now, Frank, the par 4 7th hole. Do you even think about carrying those bunkers on the right?
Not really, Rich. You're trying to work that ball off the left side, because if you get caught up on the hills there on the right, then all of a sudden you can start making 5s, 6s, and all sorts of weird and wonderful numbers.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is. That's an absolute beauty.
Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie.
Really? This is an awkward length.
It's a nice birdie right there.
Could not have come at a better time. 3rd place now.
And what happened here in 1973?
The old squire, Gene Sarazen himself, made an ace.
He was 71 years old playing his final Open. Frank, what happened there on the approach?
It was a poor decision. And let's see now. Got to think this one out a little bit better than that second shot. See if he can get it up and down.
Pretty good shot right there. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Frank, how does that par help his cause?
Certainly doesn't hurt it.
Ready to go here at the 9th at Royal Troon Golf Club. 423 yards. What are you looking to do with this one, Frank?
Well, it's another one that's a dogleg left. It's called the Monk, actually, because it faces the village of Monktown. One bunker on the left, 285 yards to carry that, but it's not that you're trying to carry it. It's you're trying to cut the ball off that.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Bogey here yesterday, chance to better that today. And he makes it for par. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Like the looks of this one.
Oh, yeah.
Good contact, good result. That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards.
Second shot. This is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. He'll need to be strong with this. Continuing his fine play. Another beautiful approach shot. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Good putt. Frank, what happened to Jack Nicklaus here at the 11th hole back in 1962?
Yeah, that was his rookie year. He was actually looking at making 2 majors in a row. He just won the US Open. Came to the 10th hole, and, well, he made one more than 10, 11 to be precise. So you never know. If you make a 5 or a 6, that's not so bad when you consider what happened to Jack Nicklaus all the way back in 1962.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Well, we've seen this before today, in the bunker. Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Workmanlike hole, he walks away with a par. Back here at the 12th, and this is a hole that heads back towards the water. You might not see your tee shot land over the ridge in the middle of the fairway here, Frank, so what's the best strategy?
Well, it's called the fox, and you have to be cunning like a fox here. This one has a slight bend to the right, and a little like the previous hole, this is another fairway that certainly requires your best tee shot.
So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Ball sitting down here in the rough, he's digging in. Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. And now, pretty good chance for birdie. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. knows? It is a 4-round tournament, setting himself up for a good weekend, maybe a great one. The young star makes his birdie. Let's see what they do from a good lie in the fairway, 180 yards to go. Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. And that one rolls just into the rough.
Now you have to decide whether or not that ball's going to fly or not.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Frank, the handicap system in golf really is the great equalizer, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no sport like it. I can't imagine going to Wimbledon and playing, sort of Djokovic or Federer or, playing NFL with Peyton Manning. But, the beauty of golf, we can go out in a golf course. We decide what our handicaps are on the first tee. We decide who's going to get strokes, and then off you go and play. And you play on a level playing field. I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. So, hanging in down the stretch with a par. On the tee here at 14, it's another par 3, Frank.
You don't get caught looking at the front of the green. That's where it's at its most narrow. Ideally, something that pitches just into the top of that mound. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. On no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone. Rich, you know, after you've already made one mistake in the rough, there's a chance he's going to make another.
Just trying to get it back out into the fairway and not make a big number. Solid play, heart of the green. These putts keep the round together. That really hurts, Frank, missing the bogey putt.
Yeah, now time to get the handkerchief. Double bogey coming up.
Frank, that is absolutely demoralizing. A big number, a double bogey at this stage of the tournament.
Common thread here, rough.
Long way again.
Rich, do you think we should tell him this fairway out there?
Yeah, he's been in the rough all day long. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
This has no chance of finding the fairway. This is turning left.
Slight miss, and he'll have to deal with some of the heavy grass. And setting up here in the rough. Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it.
Frank, anything you do differently from the rough in terms of your swing? You hinge the club a little bit more quickly?
No, normally put the ball just a little bit further back in your stance because you want the club to be going down. Down, it's got to go down through the grass, through the ball.
Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. Frank, here's the only par 5 on the back 9 at Royal Troon.
You'd think at 542 yards it would be reachable, but the burn that cuts across really limits the tee shot to about 280 yards. So it's very much about placing that second shot in a good distance for your third.
In the 1997 Open Championship here at Royal Troon, you played with Tiger Woods in the 3rd round. What did he do at this 16th hole?
He hit a driver for his second shot into a head breeze from about 270 yards. Managed to get it on the green, then knocked it in from about 45 feet for eagle.
You knew he was something special back then, didn't you?
Yeah, he was the only one that even tried that shot.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
He's set up for his 3rd shot here, looking to get it on the green with this.
In the direction of the sand.
Looks like it. Not missing by much today, but enough to again be in the bunker. So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, whom you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, it was they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or two. Aimed the club at that and made sure they followed through. Oh, another one goes in.
Final par 3 here at Royal Troon. It's the 17th. And what kind of a hole is it, Frank?
Well, this takes your best long iron shot. Normally plays back into the prevailing breeze. You miss this green on the left, it will run all the way down the hill. The bunkers might look short, but if your tee shot isn't hit properly, it'll puff up into that breeze and certainly find a pot bunker. That's an absolute beauty.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. And he's made the green. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Never a bad score on the card. That's par. Great finishing hole here, Frank, at Royal Troon, the 18th.
Really, it's all about the tee shot. If you find one of those pot bunkers, then the best you can do is lay up, and then you're looking instantly at least a 5.
Good contact, good result. That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Frank, this is a hole, number 18, where you don't want to be in a hurry to get to the clubhouse.
Yeah, there's out of bounds just off the back of the screen, so you might want to keep that in the back of your mind. Don't go long.
Yeah, OB is just steps from the clubhouse. Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
And getting ready for the putt. That's the idea. Just knock it in. So that is a top 10 performance through 2 rounds, Frank.
It's always nice to know that you have a shot with 2 rounds left in the tournament.
Frank, now the final hole, steeped in so much history. When you think about the legends of the game who have walked off this tee on their way to the claret jug, guys like Tom Watson, Arnold Palmer, Bobby Locke.
Yeah, if you've got a 1-shot lead standing on this tee, somehow you have to avoid those 4 bunkers. 3 down the left, 1 down the right, but a strip of fairway in between.